welcome to Money Upgrade number 4. We are on day 4 of the 10-day Money Momentum series. So today's Money Upgrade is have a new love affair with your honey about money. So today's episode is for you. If you are noticing that you're having repeated arguments about money with your mate. This mostly applies to romantic context, but if you have a business partner, this actually would still apply to you. So it's not just for a romantic context, but that's basically what I have in mind for today's Money Upgrade Masterclass. Okay, so today's Money Upgrade number four is have a new love affair with your honey about money. And I have 3 exciting announcements that I want to share with you. So if you're like me, even though sometimes I like watching videos, I actually prefer to read because I don't have tons of extra time. So I prefer just to like read through something really quick, skim over someone's presentation. So maybe that's the reason why you haven't tuned into my videos yet, or maybe you tune in for a couple minutes and then you get distracted or you have to go off and do something. So if you're one of those people who are like, you know, Jackie, if you just provided me with a transcript of what you're all talking about and all these money upgrades, then I could give you my attention because I could skim through that. So maybe you don't have the time to devote towards watching me, even though I might be fun to watch. I try to make it more exciting to watch and entertainment-wise as well with my fun movie trailers and all that stuff. But if you simply don't have the time to watch these money upgrades, my announcement number 1 is that I'm going to supply you with a PDF transcript of all of the money upgrades that I've been walking you through since Monday. Okay, so Monday was you need to know your money lies and your sabotage patterns. So if you don't have the financial success that you want, like you don't have the savings you want, you don't have making the income you want, and your net worth isn't where you want it to be, and you kind of feel powerless or like gross around money, then you need to know your money lies that are keeping your sabotage behaviors in place, okay? And you also need to know what your strengths are, because everyone has strengths with the way they operate with money, contrary to what you might think, okay? So if you think you're just terrible with money, that's not true. You just need to know what your strengths are and play to those strengths and mitigate the sabotage patterns. So that was Monday. Day 2, on Tuesday, we talked about getting naked with the numbers. So if you don't know exactly what's going in and out of your bank account to the penny, then you're likely losing money from money leaks. If you don't have your business and your personal expenses separated as an entrepreneur, then it's getting really messy and you could cause some IRS tax problems. Plus you're probably losing money as well because things are just messy and not organized. And yesterday in Money Upgrade number 3, we talked about how to break the bank for goodness sake. So what that means is making financial decisions that are in alignment with your real desires. So oftentimes our financial goals are actually not in alignment with what we truly want to create in our lives. And I know you might think, well, I kind of know what I want, Jackie, but you'd be surprised if you really dig in there that your financial goals may not be actually lined up with what you truly want to create in your life. So that was the first part. And the second part was, how do you financially fund your goals that you're going towards, the investments you want to make, and do it responsibly? Okay, so we talked about that yesterday and how, you know, going after your financial goals can actually feel good on the way there. And I gave some secrets about how you can actually feel good on the way to achieving your goals, because sometimes it can feel like we're slogging it out, just like our New Year's resolutions kind of tank after a while. How do you keep it feeling good on your way to your financial goal? And today we're talking about how to do money with your honey. So if you're having repeated money arguments, you're going to learn how you can actually have fruitful money talks with your mate, even if you've been arguing about the same stuff for years. So my announcement today was that I'm going to supply a PDF recapping all of the money upgrades. So if you are like, yes, I will totally skim through all of those money upgrades. Sorry, Jackie, I can't watch all your cute videos, but I will skim through the transcript. Then that PDF is for you. So I'm going to drop the link below in the comment section if you do want access to that PDF to skim through the money upgrades for this week. All right, announcement number 2. Thanks for sticking with me. So announcement number 2 is I decided to do a live money workshop this Sunday, September 23rd. Okay, so if you're digging these money upgrades, but you want to get in and do more like journaling and workbook stuff, if you totally dig like doing workshop exercises, then you're going to want to attend my online workshop this Sunday. Okay, so I'm going to provide you the link to sign in and register for that workshop. And you might be wondering if there is a cost to this workshop. It's a 2-hour workshop. And I haven't decided the time. It'll either be 12 or 2. I like even numbers. 12 or 2, a 2-hour workshop this Sunday, September 23rd. And we are going to get into money fundamentals, how money works. And we're going to get into your power around money and notice where your sabotaging patterns are. So if you're not sure about that, first you should take the Money Types quiz. And second, you should really jump into this 2-hour workshop on Sunday, and it is free. Usually I'm going to be charging $40 to allow people to jump into this Money and Flow workshop, this live workshop. But for Sunday, I am being generous and I'm going to give it to you for free. So if you are interested in signing up for that Money and Flow workshop, learning money fundamentals, seeing where your gaps are in your financial power that are stopping you from creating the savings you want, from creating the income that you want, then you're going to want to jump into the live online workshop this Sunday. Okay, so that was announcement number 2. And saving the best for last, announcement number 3 is that I am providing a flash sale $500 discount for any woman who is on a big mission, who's a visionary, an entrepreneur who wants to make a big difference in the world, a $500 discount to join the Financially Foxy and Lifestyle Moxie Academy. It's a 3-month experience where you have access to me as your money behavior coach with one-to-one calls. So you get one-to-one time with me to really dig in there and do the healing work around why you operate the way you do around money and dissolve any of those behaviors that are stopping you from getting rich, basically. You'll also have one-to-one access with our team's business finance strategist. So she will hold your hand to separate your personal and business expenses. If they're already separated, great. If they're not, that's okay. And she will help you figure out your accounting system and make everything streamlined and simplified so that all of your invoices are automated and you're not losing money. So if you've had chronic late payments from clients or you forget to send out invoices, we need to get you stabilized. And she will also give you a financial blueprint so that you can know what steps to take in the future to make sure you can increase your profits, because a lot of people actually lose out on profits they could be making because they don't know how to financially strategize for their business. So she specializes, Claire, if you didn't see our Q&A from yesterday on Wednesday, she shared about one of the biggest things that you need to know as an entrepreneur to avoid financial train wrecks. So be sure to check that out. But if you join the academy, you'll get one-on-one time with her. You'll also get one-to-one time with our certified personal financial planner. So this is getting more into personal finance, but if you need help getting your cash flow and your budgeting, which I call the spending plan, if you want to get that streamlined and automated, well, you should, not if you want, but you should have that. If you don't have it automated, then she will help walk you through that. And she'll also give you a customized financial plan going forward on what are the next steps you can take to really build your savings, which, by the way, the women who do this program, who've done work with our team before, they usually save at least $1,000. So if you're like, hey, I would like an extra $1,000 in my bank account, we can't guarantee it, obviously. That would not be a wise thing to say, but that's common. It's common that women who work with us, who really do this money behavior work, do the business strategizing, do the personal finance work, and start automating all of their finances and cleaning up any of the gaps in where they're losing power and losing money, that it's so easy to just save $1,000 right there. So if you want to save $1,000, yeah, that's very likely if you join our group. What else did I want to share about that? So you get the financial blueprint, you get the financial plan, you get work with me, you get one-to-one attention, which is rare to find. Usually programs you see out there are group programs. So not that they're bad. I actually am introducing a group component to my experience as well, but because I think there's a lot to be learned in community. So there is a group component, but there is a very high touch experience that you can expect from this 3-month academy experience, okay? So flash discount, $500 discount. If you're interested in learning more about the Financially Foxy and Lifestyle Moxie Academy and how to work with all three of us professionals, money behavior coach, business strategist, and personal financial planner, who is fee only, by the way. So that means all of her advice is unbiased. Just had to throw that in there. If you're interested in learning more about that, I'm going to drop that in the comments too. So really quick recap, 3 announcements. 1, you get the PDF from Money Upgrades 1 through 4 this week, including today's Money Upgrade. Announcement number 2 is I'm doing a live online workshop this Sunday, September 23rd. It's 2 hours. It's either going to be at noon or 2 o'clock Pacific time. I will confirm that. But if you're interested, look in the comments for the link to sign up for that workshop. Usually it's $40, but I'm offering it for free. Getting into money fundamentals and where you're losing power with your money. And I forgot to add, I'm adding some meditational stuff. Since I'm a yoga teacher, I call it the Money and Flow workshop. So it's got some soulful meditational mindfulness in there too, which is really special. And then announcement number 3 is $500 discount for the Financially Foxy Lifestyle Moxie Academy, 3-month experience, and it's high touch, one-to-one time with all 3 members on our team. And you can expect to likely save $1,000 during that time and have a whole new relationship to money personally. And you can also clean up how you do finances with your sweetheart. So speaking of that, we're going to jump into the Money Upgrade number 4 today, which is an introduction to how you can really have those money talks with your spouse without chronic fighting. And instead you can have it create some financial teamwork and be on the same page. All right, you guys, so join me in just a minute. I'm gonna pop over to the presentation for today's Money Upgrade number 4. All right, everyone, so we are back for Money Upgrade number 4. And to recap really quick, who this Money Momentum series is for, this 10-day momentum series is for visionary women. So a visionary woman is someone who's like, I'm going to do something big in the world. And they're likely an entrepreneur, a creative, someone who's really a trailblazer. But you might be noticing that you're successful in a lot of areas of your life, but perhaps when it comes to money, you're like, I could use some improvement in that area. So maybe you're having a hard time building your savings. Maybe you're at an income plateau. You have a harder time raising your prices. Whatever it is around money, there's just like a stickiness there and a lack of power. So I've been providing these Money Upgrades 1 through 4 this week. Today is number 4, to give you your power back so you can see where you're getting in your own way and how you can actually have practical steps to building your savings and your income. Because what I want for you is to be financially free, because I have been there not financially free and I've been on the other side, and it's definitely sweeter on the financial freedom side because then you have so much more choice and you can create the lifestyle that you really crave and go have that impact in the world in a greater way. So we're going to skip over to Money Upgrade number 4. So bear with me. Really quick recapping through shift number 1, know your money lies and your sabotage patterns. Without knowing what's really running the show, you'll stay in the same cycles, giving you financial stress and keeping your savings dwindling and keeping your income from blowing up. Shift number 2, on Tuesday, we talked about getting naked with the numbers. If you don't know what's going in and out, you're not going to be able to have financial success is the bottom line. You can't increase your profits. You really don't know where you're leaking money. It's just really messy. And once you know those numbers, get bold with it. Know if your numbers are not where they need it to be. Like I've shared about my credit card debt story. I was like, wow, I really need to get out of this, but I felt so much shame around it. So in doing work with a money behavior coach, I figured out how to get out of that shame and see possibility, and got into a debt repayment program. So, you know, it's going to be different for every person depending on your financial situation. So working with financial professionals is really necessary to know what steps to take to eliminate any debt or to increase your savings in the best way possible and the best steps for your business to create profit. Yesterday, we talked about how do you have a spending plan without needing to sacrifice, buckle down. And if you constantly find yourself saying, I can't afford it, then yesterday's shift was for you, breaking the bank for goodness sake. So breaking all those old thoughts we have about, should I do it? Maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe it's not practical. All of that. So we talked about how you need to get your brain and your heart, which is your logic and your desire, in alignment. So that was 2 parts. One part was to first see if the financial goals, the things that you're saving your money for that you want to invest in, is really aligned with what your desires are. Like, how do you really want to feel underneath that financial goal you're pursuing? So we talked about that in depth yesterday. You can check that out. But if you're not aligned with, your financial goals aren't aligned with your desires, that's going to cause major strife. In addition, if you do capitalize on what you desire, but you don't have a responsible way to fund the financial goal, like if you do it irresponsibly, I think leveraging credit is a great idea if you have a fail-safe and a savings cushion to fall back on. For me personally, that was my biggest issue, is I didn't have that fail-safe. So I would go after my desires, but that's how I got into credit card debt. So I feel really passionate about that. And doing things every day to deliberately create the experience that you want to feel on the way to achieving your goal. So it doesn't feel like you're just slogging through to finally get to that goal and finally feel the way you want to feel, which is all backwards. All right, so that was our recap from days 1, 2, and 3. Today we're getting into shift number 4, which is have a new love affair with your honey about money. So a lot of people think, I hear this a lot from people, they're like, oh, if my partner only saw money the same way as I did, if we just wanted the same things. Well, I mean, of course, if you thought exactly the same way about money, that would be simpler, but it's just generally not how life works. And even more ironically, we often call in a life partner. This could be a business partner too, you guys, but I'm really speaking more to the romantic context. But we usually pick this life partner, someone who polarizes us and balances us. So with polarity does come conflict, but what also with that conflict comes a lot of growth opportunity. Okay, so I would say that more than likely you don't have the same financial behaviors, financial tendencies, tendencies with how you manage your money or make your money. So you're going to have different sabotage patterns with how you make your money and how you manage your money. And you're also probably going to have different financial goals. So there's a lot to navigate here. And when we have differences, that's where obviously arguments can come up. And if they're not resolved in a way where both partners feel honored and appreciated, that's where you end up with constant money fights. And I know lots of couples out there who can't talk about money without ending up in a fight. So that's why I'm getting into this money upgrade today. So what you need to know are your financial priorities. That means, like, what are your goals with how you want to spend your money, okay? So if, for example, your partner wants to go on a luxury golf trip and you want to renovate the bathroom, then first thing is you need to learn how to appreciate where each other's coming from. So if you have a disdain for their financial priority, right there, your partner is going to feel disrespected and misunderstood. And that's a recipe for disaster. So first, can you get on their side and see, like, what does that provide for them, that financial goal that they're going after? And, vice versa, that your partner does the same for you. But usually it starts with one partner leading the way, being a role model for what that discussion would look like, which is why when I work with women, I really believe they can be the catalyst for creating financial teamwork in their relationship. So if you are, what was I just saying? So if you are having different financial goals, first appreciating each other and where they're coming from and why they're excited about that goal, and maybe even getting excited for them, really getting them. Everyone just really wants to be gotten, right? It's really powerful. And then the next piece is then, could you put your financial goals on a timeline, which might mean that one person's financial goal gets met before the other, but you're a team. So if you can really reestablish that we're both rooting for each other here, we're both going to get what we want. This person might get what they want first, and you have to base that on what your financial numbers are, and you work with a financial planner who can help you really allocate your monetary resources to fund your financial goals responsibly, while you're also taking care of your savings, your retirement, college planning if you have kids, like all the things that we also need to do as adults. So make sure to keep that in mind. Going after those financial goals will be a lot more helpful if you have a financial planner working with you. The other part, aside from working on your financial goals, is understanding your partner's money types. So I provided the money types quiz as my free gift this Monday, and you can still receive that if you're interested. I'll put that in the comment section below. But learning what your behavior tendencies are around money and your partner's behavior tendencies is so powerful, because then you'll have a greater appreciation why they do what they do. For example, why they are feeling stuck around building their income, or why they tend to overspend, or why they tend to be a compulsive saver. So having an appreciation for why your partner does what they do by learning about their money types will just provide a lot more peace around it. So instead of fighting your partner and why do you have to do things this way with money, you'll actually have more compassion for why they do what they do, because usually our money types, our strengths, and our sabotage patterns come from a really deep place of wiring in our nervous systems. So, you know, and this isn't just going to get solved in one conversation, by the way, you guys. Just finding out your money types isn't going to just poof make financial conversations go smoothly, but it's the first step to really building appreciation for why your partner makes money the way they do, spends money the way they do, saves money the way they do. And if you're interested in learning more about those sabotage patterns and how to dissolve them, I'm actually going to be diving into that tomorrow and all of next week. So really quick, tomorrow I'm diving into the sabotage patterns around making money. So if you find that you're someone who's a chronic under-earner, or someone who is a chronic overworker, or likely both, I'll be getting into that tomorrow. And it's really juicy stuff, you guys, that applies to a lot of women who tend to undercharge and overwork, which really sabotages our money-making capabilities. Next week, I get into the money management sabotage patterns. So once you actually make the money, what do you do with it, right? So I get into why we overspend, and there's actually 6 kinds of overspending tendencies. So clarifying that might be really helpful for you. That for me was my biggest turning point, was understanding my overspending tendencies. And it's really deeply rooted in worthiness issues. So we'll get into that on Monday, as well as tomorrow gets into worthiness issues. And we'll get into the remaining sabotage money management patterns Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday we'll be talking about hoarding money, like compulsive savers. Wednesday we'll be talking ambivalence, people who are just kind of like shrug their shoulders with money, kind of uber casual approach. And on Thursday we'll talk about people who overgive, also common with women who tend to be nurturers but can enable others and end up sabotaging their own financial success. So that's what's happening tomorrow and next week. But knowing that about yourself and knowing that about your partner, that's how you can create power couple compatibility. All right, so, you know, the statistics tell us, you guys, that finances are the leading cause of stress in a relationship. And that like 35% of people who experience stress in the relationship say it's money that's the problem that's causing friction. You know, you might get along about a lot of things, but money's the thing that you kind of always have these cyclical arguments about. So especially if you're an entrepreneur, you know, you're going to be a risk taker. I definitely am that. And my husband is more of prioritizes stability more with his money. So we've really had to traverse what it looks like when Jackie wants to make a big risky investment, and Miguel, my husband, really wants to see where the security and the stability is going to be. So it's really beautiful. We've learned how to bridge that, and we've really played to our strengths, and we've really been sensitive around each other's sabotage patterns too, because he certainly has his own, and I certainly have mine, right, as I mentioned about overspending. So so yeah, as an entrepreneur, we can have some unique challenges, and bottom line, you guys, is appreciating your money, your partner's money priorities for their financial goals, right? And being sensitive to their money weaknesses, their sabotage patterns, and leveraging their money strengths makes all of the difference. Just like in this picture, they're really learning how to leverage each other's strengths, which is why I love this picture, and really showing what teamwork and vulnerability looks like. And financial teamwork and financial vulnerability, financial transparency is totally possible in your marriage. So now some people do ask, they think, well, maybe because we're having these fights around money, we should go to a couples counseling. And you know what? There could be a lot more going on in your relationship. Oftentimes, money stress is a symptom of other things going on inside the relationship. The good news is that I'm also a relationship coach. So not only do I specialize in working with women on their money psychology, but I also specialize in working with women on renewing the intimacy, generally speaking, inside their marriage. So I, tailored it in the Financially Foxy and Lifestyle Moxie Academy, the 3-month experience I offer to really help women build financial intimacy specifically. But I do have those tools, to develop intimacy in general in the relationship. I've done a lot of work around that in my own marriage, especially because my husband and I are very different people. But I want you to know that if you do decide to go for traditional couples counseling, it could be great, but just know that it doesn't specialize. Typically, a traditional couples counselor does not specialize in examining your relationship with money. So they might have some general ideas around it, but they haven't been trained in like the nitty gritty around money psychology, which is a niche in and of itself. And also, here's the thing with therapy is that it often focuses on healing old wounds and current conflict management, which is only half of the battle. I actually do a lot of that work with my clients, healing old wounds. How do we talk about the things that we disagree on, conflict management, huge part. But oftentimes in therapy, they focus on that for such a long time that it can feel kind of too painful. There's not enough wins, so to speak, at the beginning of a therapy process. So even though that's deep, necessary work that I do with my clients, I also emphasize a lot of creating positive results fast to buoy you while you do the deep healing work. Traditional couples counseling also often requires both partners to be present and on the same page for the relationship work to be successful. So eventually your partner does need to be on board, right? But I do believe that women themselves can be the catalyst for change in their relationship. Basically, how my work is with couples is that I believe it's so necessary for success in the financial teamwork to show up fast, okay? Because when we get into these touchy topics, we can feel really bad and really heavy in our relationship. So we need to see some wins, some victories pretty fast. So with my work with couples, we work on positive solution-based action steps, but we also focus on those deep healing issues as well. So you can expect a combination from me to dive deep and heal the shame that's really underneath it, because without doing that, it's just a Band-Aid, honestly. But without providing those positive solution-based action steps quickly, it can also be really heavy for too long. And I know that couples need to see the success sooner than that. Okay, and you don't need your partner to be present, ladies, for this training. So this Financially Foxy Lifestyle Moxie course that I provide is just for women, because I believe women can be powerful catalysts for change in their partner just by doing your own deep money work and modifying your own behaviors, okay? So you can expect to get a PDF from today's, from all Money Upgrades numbers 1 through 4 this week. So if you just want to skim through all this good stuff I'm dishing out, don't have time to watch the videos, no problem. You can skim through the PDF that I'll be sending. So check out the comment section below to get that PDF if you want to skim through Money Upgrades 1 through 4. Please register for the online live workshop that I'm hosting this Sunday. I'm thinking at noon, but I might change it to 2 o'clock. So if you have a vote, let me know. And that live workshop is all about money fundamentals and bringing a little mindfulness and meditative work in there with my yoga instruction. As a yoga teacher, I like to bring that into my money work with my clients. So we'll be getting both practical and soulful strategies in the 2-hour workshop on Sunday. Usually it's $40, but this time I'm offering it for free. And my final announcement for today, just to remind you, is I'm offering a flash discount, $500 off your participation in the 3-month Financially Foxy Lifestyle Moxie Academy. It's a high touch experience. So you get one-to-one time with me, one-to-one time with a business strategist, and one-to-one time with a personal financial planner, which you can't find anywhere else. Like literally, this is a one-stop shop that I knew did not exist, and I think it needs to exist, because otherwise, if you just get the money mindset work with me, which that's half the battle, but exactly that. It's only half the battle. So I don't want to send you out of my program not really knowing how to do the crunchy stuff with your automating your systems and really building your savings. Again, the women that work with me in my team usually build at least $1,000 in their savings within that 3-month period, if not more. We can't guarantee that. Everyone's financial situation's different, but just know that having that accountability with the one-to-one help, and there is a community aspect. So there is a little bit of a group component. If you definitely get inspired and motivated by other women, which I think is, in community, we do rise up with one another. So I think that's important. So I include that as well. If you want to learn more about that, in the comment section below. And finally, thank you so much for hanging in here with me. I hope these money upgrades this week has been valuable for you, and I will be sharing tomorrow how to end your money-making sabotage patterns if you find yourself chronically under-earning or overworking, or maybe even both. So sign up for the live workshop for Sunday. Inquire about the $500 discount for the Academy if you're interested in that, and look for the PDF for this week's money upgrades. And I will see you tomorrow for Fabulous Friday. Thanks, you guys.